Hello again, everyone. I'm going to present to you now some of the albums I've picked up in the last 2 or 3 weeks. And the first is Captain Beefheart's Trout Mask Replica. It's from around 1969 or so. This is a copy from the 1970s. It's quite a famous or infamous record now. Friend of Frank Zappa. This is a Canadian album, King Biscuit Boy, Good'uns. It has the burlap sack cover. It's an original copy on Canadian Daffodil Records. King Biscuit Boy was like a combination of the Blues Brothers and Little Walter. You often see it with the cardboard sleeve, but this one actually has the burlap cover on it. The Flower Travellin Band. This is a Japanese psychedelic band who recorded this LP in Toronto 1971. I saw them in concert in 1971 in Toronto, August the 12th, 1971. They opened for Bob Seger, who did an acoustic set that did not go over very well. He was almost booed off the stage. And Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And it was in a stadium, in a field. Outside, there were only a couple thousand people there. It was Emerson, Lake and Palmer, probably their first or second tour of North America, and they hadn't developed a huge stage show at that time. But this Flower Travellin Band album is very, very rare now. I think it goes for big bucks on eBay. The Great Peanut Butter Conspiracy, by the Peanut Butter Conspiracy. This is from 1968. It's on Columbia. Wishbone Ash Pilgrimage from the early 70s. Wishbone Ash was a twin guitar band, hard rock band from Britain. They recorded many albums in the 70s and 80s, and their early albums are really, really good. The Very Best of Jay and the Americans. There's only 10 songs on this, unfortunately. This one here, Tink, if you're watching this, you might get a laugh out of this one. It's called Groovy Ghoulies. The Groovy Ghoulies. It's on RCA and it came out about 1970. There must have been a TV show called The Groovy Ghoulies for a year or two. I don't remember this TV show. I would have been, 17 or 18 years old at the time. And but it's really cute. I haven't played it yet. This is a prog album, Curved Air, Midnight Wire. It's a British copy. It's on a label called BTM Records, distributed by RCA. The New York Dolls, Night of the Living Dolls. This is a greatest hits album of their first 2 albums, or 2 LPs. It's produced by Todd Rundgren, David Johansen, etc. Mr. Hall of Fame, Mr. Hoff-A-Me. Iron Maiden, Life After Death, or Live After Death. Double live album. I know you're a great fan of the heavy metal 80s stuff, especially. This one here is Blonde on Blonde, Whole Lotta Love. I bought this for the cover, but it is a cover of the Led Zeppelin Whole Lotta Love. It's from the late 70s. It's on Pi. It might be a disco record. I really don't know. I haven't played this yet. It's a 12-inch 45. Some Judas Priest. Judas Priest, Rabbit on Down. Defenders of the Faith. And here's a very early one, Rockarola, Judas Priest. It's from 1974. It's on the Gull label, British Gull label, Passport Records. And Point of Entry, Judas Priest. I know I was missing these from my collection. I do have some other Judas Priest albums, but not these. Savoy Brown, featuring Kim Simmons, Wire Fire. This would be mid-70s, I would think. Original soundtrack to the album of Airport, the 1970 film. See, Arthur Haley, I think, wrote the book on this. This one's pretty cool. It's one of those Columbia promo compilation albums from the early 70s. It's called The Music People. It's a 3-album set, And it has all the great Columbia stars of the day, you know, Santana, Poco, etc., Bob Dylan, Jeff Beck. It's just one song by each of their artists. Kind of cool. The Fabulous Fabian. Nice pictures of Fabian with the... He couldn't sing, but he looked good. Thin Lizzy Rocker, 1971 to 1974. I'm a huge Thin Lizzy fan, and I have almost all her albums, but the first album or two, like Vagabonds of the Western World, I don't have. This is a compilation of some of their early material. And it includes Whiskey in the Jar, which I think, didn't Metallica do a cover of that about 3 or 4 years ago? Phil Lynott was a genius. The Best of Gallagher and Lyle. These are kind of British, kind of soft rock folkies. Herbie Hancock Sound System. It's probably kind of fusiony jazz from the 80s. Billy Ocean's Greatest Hits. The Bee Gees, Living Eyes. This is from the 80s. And the last one I have is Manfred Mann, Nightingales and Bombers. Manfred Mann's Earth Band from the 1970s. And they recorded, I guess you'd call them like light prog, I suppose. But the Manfred Mann albums from the 1970s were really excellent albums, really good listening stuff. Recommend it to anybody. Thanks for watching.